What up, YouTube fam? What up? What up? Give everybody a second. Gonna be talking about the biggest fight in history going down tonight. Maybe not, but it's entertaining fight tonight. Jake Paul, Ben Askren, the one of the best strikers in MMA, taking on the YouTube sensation. Before we get into that, though, let me know where you guys are joining from. Drop a comment where you're coming from. Right now, I am in San Diego. Beautiful, sunny. Got my boy fighting tonight. Jeremy Stevens taking on Jakar Close. That should be a freaking scrap. We got UFC and we have Triller tonight too. So a little bit of boxing. Woo, baby. Got London in the house, New York City, Philly. What's up? What's up? British Columbia. Dope, dude. What up? I thought, what a beautiful day to jump on, say what's up to the YouTube fam, and connect with you guys, man. It's been a lot going on over here on this side of town. Just found out I have a fight coming up, so I should be getting the contract soon on that. So I'll let you guys know as soon as possible. Yeah. So busy. Denmark's in the house. Finland. What's up? Michigan's in the house. What's up, Damien? Where at in Michigan you from, bro? Stockton. Okay, 209's in the house. Guys, I don't have my Rockstar this morning, all right? I got the Dunkin' Donuts, little caramel iced latte with almond milk. Try getting off them Rockstars, man. They'll kill you. Hawaii's in the house. Singapore. Nice, man. I've never been to Singapore, but I'd love to go there. Big old fight tonight. Big old fight. Love from India. What's up, mate? How you guys doing? Yeah. Heck yeah. Man, we got some big fights coming up. We got the Chandler and the Oliveira coming up as well. That's in May. Fights are coming. Hey, and the events, the fighters are able to have fans in attendance. So shout out all the fans, right? I mean, more electricity in there. And I'm sure, anybody out there that's never been to a UFC event or a Bellator event, man, go check it out because it is off the chain. I mean, you're talking about one of the coolest experiences, the electricity in the building, the energy, seeing the fighters in person. When you watch a fight on TV, it's intense, and it's good. But when you're actually there in person, man, you hear like the slaps and you hear the real impact, dude. It's really, really cool. So anybody out there that's never been to a fight, if you can, afford it, if you can get to one of these events, man, go do it. UK right here. Okay, Palestine. Man, the Netherlands. That is dope. That is awesome. Hey, let me know one thing you guys are grateful for as well, because that's super important. Super important. What is one thing you're grateful for? I'll go first. I'm grateful to be alive and have my health. That's it. First things first. I can see. I have my health. I can walk. I can work out. It's just health. So I'm grateful for health. Being alive. Okay. Straight up. Yeah, man. If you got a breath in your lungs, you're doing good. You're grateful for the stock market. Oh man. I bet you and everybody else. Stock market's crazy right now. Continually to going up and going up, which is kind of crazy because, considering a lot of companies, lost revenue this past year, the stock market still keeps going up. But I guess, the government has been pumping trillions and trillions of dollars into the economy, keeping everything afloat, making the GDP look good, making everything look like it's okay. So yeah, the stock market is grateful for that. And I'm grateful for real estate too, while we're talking about that, because get a lot of appreciation over these last couple of months. If you guys haven't bought real estate, man, start looking into it, because that's a great asset class if you know what you're doing, especially for the long term. Thankful for my parents and stinky little friends. Okay. Yeah. Heck yeah. Grateful to have my faith. Yep. Awesome, man. Yeah. That's another thing to be grateful for. That higher up, that big picture. Everybody's got their different beliefs and views on their religion, but having that faith that we're part of something bigger, even though we don't understand exactly all the time what's going on, but we're part of something. Real estate, yeah, definitely, man. I can talk about real estate all day. So if anybody wants me to talk about real estate, I could just keep going because I love real estate. I love Monopoly, the game. But I think we're gonna start off a little bit more MMA. I mean, what's better, MMA and real estate, and a little boxing, right? I mean, it's the best of all the worlds. So first up, let's talk about the fights tonight, man. We got Whittaker versus Gastelum. Right off tops, I think that's a great fight, a striking fight. What's interesting about this fight is that they're both really, really good boxers. Whittaker's really quick, in and out, has a lot of speed, good footwork, hands down, kind of baits people into coming. And on the other side of the cage, you have Gastelum, who, for his style, he's a wrestler. He came up, but he loves to strike. He trains with Cordero in LA at King's MMA. He's got really underrated boxing. And, considering his figure, and he's not the most bulky guy, he's got a lot of power. Like when he knocked out Michael Bisping in vicious fashion. Bisping did just lose his belt to GSP, but, he's a former champ, so that was super impressive. Whittaker is on a roll right now. He's beaten Jared. He's beaten Till. Everybody knows Till, right? And two very impressive performances. He got knocked out by Izzy, a couple fights back. But, man, I just think this is going to be a great striking fight. What makes it really, really interesting is I give the power advantage to Calvin, but I give the speed and combination advantage to Whittaker. So it just depends who gets off first, who kind of states their claim. I really see if I had to, bet, put money on it, I would go with Whittaker. He's the speed in and out. I don't think he's easy to hit. So I can see him sticking and moving. I think Calvin's going to have a hard time trying to take him down. So I think if it stays striking, I give the slight advantage to Whittaker via decision. I can see him kind of stick and moving. And, I can see Calvin landing some big shots. Calvin's a southpaw, so it's interesting to see how he does against him. But Whittaker's really, really good on the feet. So this could be an entertaining fight, though, for everybody. So I don't think Whittaker's ever really in a boring fight. I seen him fight live when he knocked out the Ultimate Fighter winner. What's his name? Not Coleman Scott. One of the he won the Ultimate Fighter, but I was there live, man, and Whittaker knocked him out. Ooh, Execution coming in, hitting the super chat. Yeah, if you guys have any specific questions, fire that up. So let's see what Execution's got with the Conor McGregor strut right there. Hey, Myles, I know he is your boy, but I lost all my respect to Jeremy Stephens. It's a face-off. What he did was so unprofessional, and hope he gets cut. Well, I appreciate your feedback and your opinion, my man. And, I for sure, I see your point, on the outside looking in from that perspective, your point is valid. Another perspective to look at it, kind of the one that I look at it as, it's a fight. We're not playing anything. Emotions run high, tensions run high. And you got to know who you're messing with, man. If you're coming that close to Jeremy Stephens, you've seen his past fights, you've seen his past personality, you've seen the way he does stuff. He doesn't really care. He's he's got that killer instinct. And if I was Drakkar, I personally wouldn't have been that close. I would, for me guys too, I always put my hands up, it's a fight. You don't know what anybody is thinking. Granted, yeah, you're right, Execution. They're going to fight today, the next day, but man, people are crazy in this game. You fight in a cage for a living. So I see what you're saying. But I also, man, number one rule in the fight game is protect yourself at all times. So great perspective though, for sure. So Whittaker Gastelum, I think that's going to be a dope fight. And then obviously next up, man, let's talk about it. We got Jakar Close and we got Jeremy Stephens. We already know Execution's prediction, what he's thinking, what he's feeling. Man, I've seen Jeremy training for this fight. I've been in there day in and day out with him. I've never seen him more focused. Everything from the diet to the sprints to the sparring to the wrestling to the jiu-jitsu. He's, I always look at it as two scorecards. Your first scorecard is the preparation, and he's crushed that scorecard. He won that scorecard. Now the second scorecard is the actual fight. And man, I think Jeremy has all the tools to beat this guy. I feel like this guy really doesn't have any advantage over him. I feel like Jeremy's got more power, more experience. Jakar is a good fighter. He brings it, tough, scrappy, comes to fight. But, I don't really see any huge advantage because, look, Jakar's 32, Jeremy's 33. Jeremy's fought and beat better fighters. So I'm leaning towards Jeremy, possibly by a decision or a TKO. I mean, that's what I'm thinking in this fight. I think it's going to be a good one. I think both men are going to have their moments, but I just think it's going to be a very entertaining fight. And man, I'm excited for this one. Who do you guys think? Do you guys think Jakar's going to get it, or J-Bone, Little Heathen? Jeremy's more a fighter than an athlete. Yep. Yeah, guys, I think, man. Jeremy told me, man, he said the fight starts at the weigh-ins. So, always be ready at those weigh-ins. And Jeremy, I think, is just ready to scrap. And he's been ready to scrap for a while. And, he said, hey, Jakar, got close to his face. He doesn't play that. And, yeah, I mean, I don't think Jeremy gives a crap, guys. I don't really think he cares. I think he's ready to fight. So think Stephens. Little Heathen is one of those guys who is dangerous all 15 minutes of the fight. Yep, he's fun to watch. Yeah, great point, man. I mean, and not to take away from Jakar, I think they share a lot of similarities. Jakar's a gamer. Jakar's good for the whole fight. And that's what makes it interesting. Both these guys bring it. But, I'm pulling with, I think Jeremy's going to be able to get off first. I think Jeremy's going to be able to push a higher pace and just be the better fighter, tonight. But with that being said, I think it's going to be exciting and to be a good one. So not only do we have the UFC tonight, but also we have Triller. We have Jake Paul and we have Ben Askren, which if you would have told me this was going to happen 6 months ago, I would have been like, what? That's crazy. Obviously Ben Askren is a huge name in the mixed martial arts world, mostly from Jorge Masvidal hitting him with that knee and knocking him out. But to the people that actually know him a little bit more just outside of that fight, he is a very accomplished fighter. He has one UFC title, Bellator title. The guy's been and fought some great fighters across the world. And what's most interesting about Ben Askren is he's been able to implement the wrestling style, and not many people have been able to do that because you watch Ben Askren's fights and he is not known for his striking at all. Like, he's the type of guy that, just gets hit, boom, 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 tries to stalk you down, get into a grappling or a clinch exchange and get you to the ground. So, man, he's a great fighter, a mixed martial arts fighter. On the other side, though, you have, Jake Paul, who, yeah, he's a YouTube sensation. Yeah, he's only 2-0 as a boxer. But I mean, if you look past the hate on Jake Paul, yes, he says stupid stuff. Yes, I thought, he crosses the line, certain things, but it's an entertainment business. And when you look at it, Jake's a young boxer. He looks hungry, he looks athletic, and he looks like he's coming to win. I think going into this fight, though, you guys got to look at it as who controls everything. Just like when you talk money, real estate, business, you always want to have control. Any good business person, any good fighter, any good entrepreneur, real estate guy, it all comes back down to control. You look at UFC, they're a prime example of that. They control everything. They control the game. You look at the government, you look at the banks, the Fed, they control the money supply. They control everything. So when you look at this fight, the thing that kind of steers me towards my decision of who I think is going to win is because of the control. Jake Paul chose Ben Askren. Jake Paul chose that it's going to be a boxing match, not an MMA fight or a wrestling match. Jake Paul is probably choosing the referee. Jake Paul is choosing the date, the venue, everything. So when you add all this up, do I think Ben Askren is a great athlete? Yes. Do I think Ben Askren can beat Jake Paul? Maybe if Ben Askren has either I'll give you two ways I think Ben Askren can beat him. One, Ben Askren has been lying to us all. He's been hitting the mitts like a little girl, basically just to throw everybody off. And come tonight, he's actually going to be boxing and he knows how to box. I really don't think that that's the case, but you never know because people can show you what they want. Or the second way I think Ben Askren can beat Jake Paul is to get him with the Homer Simpson mentality. The just take shots, let Jake Paul hit him, get tired, stay in front of him until Jake Paul basically is fatigued, and then Ben Askren can just push him over and get the win. If anybody's ever seen that Simpson episode, you know what I'm talking about. But, going into this fight, I really don't see, what is it, 3-minute rounds? You get a minute break in between. It's only eight rounds. They're not going any crazy, 12 rounds, anything like that. And to me, I feel like if Ben Askren is getting beat up, right, and Ben Askren goes back to his old nature of, I'm going to clinch, I'm going to dirty box him, boom, boom. What the ref's going to do, just like they did with Mayweather, when Mayweather and Conor fought, as soon as they started clinching and Mayweather kind of started hitting an angle, hitting some little pop shots on him, basically like a real fight, that's what happens, when you're not just boxing. If you clinch together, you can actually punch them and hit them and everything. I think that if this happens, if Ben does this in this fight, that the refs are going to break him up, that the ref is going to, possibly warn Ben Askren, which is going to make Ben have to just stay in a boxing range and basically fight Jake in just boxing only. And I just don't see that being a good thing. The only way is Jake just beats him up, and gasses out. But I don't see that happening. Now, there was talks of, I forgot the guy's name, but he was a Bellator fighter. Him and Luis Pena, who actually, fights tonight in the UFC, they said that they went in there to help Jake Paul. And there was another fighter that was with the UFC that said he went in there to spar with Jake Paul. And they both said that Jake Paul wasn't that good, that Jake Paul didn't want to fight. He's not a fighter, that he backed up, that he didn't want to go forward and actually spar and fight with them. So I found out about that, those two interviews over this last couple of days. So it kind of gets me thinking, maybe Jake Paul is just kind of blowing smoke up everybody's butt. But if I would steer more towards Ben if this was it could be just more of a real fight and it wasn't all controlled by Jake. So yeah, I'm gonna stay with Jake in this one, guys. Who do you guys think is gonna win and how? I will tell you this though. Ben is supposedly representing the mixed martial arts world, but how are you going to represent the mixed martial arts world when you don't really have a striking and you don't really believe in striking? Mixed martial arts to me means guys that box, jiu-jitsu, wrestle, everything. They're fighters, and yes, Ben does that. But when it comes down to striking in boxing and striking in general, I think Ben. I mean, come on, man. He's got to be the worst looking striker in MMA. And I'm not hating on Ben. I'm just calling it, giving you 110% honest feedback. Ben, he doesn't even look good on the mitts. Who doesn't look good on mitts? I mean, the only person that doesn't look good on boxing mitts are total beginners that have no athletic ability. How do you not look good on mitts? And then obviously in his fights, he doesn't box either. He doesn't know how to strike. So, man, I don't really say that he's a great representation of the MMA world because he doesn't strike. And I mean, I don't want to go off on a tangent, guys, but to me, I think boxing and I think the boxing realm, I just really I don't believe that I'm trying to figure out the best word for this, but I don't believe that they take as much risk as an MMA fighter. I don't think they have as much courage as an MMA fighter. Or it's like all the boxers like, oh yeah, like we're the real game, we're the real sport, but you guys come over here and fight us in only one rule set. It's like, nah, man. Like, to me, put all this stuff to the side. What's the truest and realest form of fighting? It's me and you. We ran into each other on the street and we were gonna fight. You can't say, oh, we're only gonna box, or okay, we're gonna clinch, but you got to break it up. Like, no, man. Like, we tussle, we throw hands, we get to the ground. Man, I can elbow. I mean, it's a real fight. It's the closest thing you can get to back in the day with the gladiators in Rome. And, without the aspect of, you get to come out alive, obviously. But to me, that's the truest form of battle and fighting. So when a boxer, talks that big game, I just, I kind of laugh, because unless you're really willing to step up and put it on the line, like, James Toney did back when he fought Randy Couture, then all right, I'll give you some respect, man. Let's see what's up. But if you're just going to act like, you're the real fighter, but you only want to fight in hands only, I kind of think that's silly. So yeah, so went off on a little tangent there, but what do you guys think? Who do you think is going to win, Jake Paul or Ben Funky Askren? Brian says he put $5,000 on Jake. Let's go. What are the odds, Brian? Let me know the odds. What kind of loser are you if you lose to a dad bod? Man, Ben's beating a lot of people with that dad bod, but some guys are just like that, though, right? They don't look the part, but they're just tough, man. They have that crazy strength. Great cardio. Ben by decision. Okay. YouTube kid wins. $6K on Ben. Man, Rob put $6,000 on Ben. Wow. Ben's at plus 130. Okay, Jake minus 200. Okay, yeah, so Jake's that favorite, right? It's every day, bro. Oh, man. Ben, TKO, round 6. I mean, let me ask you this. How is Ben? Do you guys really think Ben can TKO somebody with his punching power? I'm being honest. I mean, and you guys got to remember, I believe these are bigger boxing gloves, right? Because they're heavier guys. I don't know the exact boxing glove ounceage, but those are like pillows. To me, that's a pillow. When you look at a MMA fight, you have 4-ounce gloves built to basically protect your knuckles from breaking. Boxing, if you're talking, 14, 16-ounce gloves, whatever it is, man, it's harder to knock somebody out when you got those big boxing gloves. So maybe Ben can TKO him. Maybe Jake can TKO him. He can catch Jake with that nasty uppercut. Oh, man. I'm trying to think about what uppercut you're referring to, but I'll take your word for it. Maybe Ben's got that nasty. Jake's never been hit, though. Yeah. Great point. What happens if Jake Paul hits Ben and he doesn't go down? Or what if Ben, hits Jake Paul and starts giving it back to him? Here's my thoughts on that, guys. If Ben doesn't go away and Ben's giving him a fight, I think Jake Paul is the type of guy, just from what I've seen and what my experiences of him. I've never trained with him. I don't have any personal hands-on experience. But obviously he's young, only a couple of fights. if Ben starts outclassing him, which I don't see how that's going to happen, but if Ben starts, outclassing him and making Jake look bad, I think Jake at that point might look for a way out if he's getting crushed. But if it's close and basically Ben's just a punching bag, Ben's not going away, but obviously Ben's not giving any offense, I think that Jake will be okay, and I think Jake will be able to coast and just beat him up for 8 rounds. But I think the big question comes down to who or what is Jake going to do when he's actually in there with a fighter that's going to hit him in his face, punch him in his mouth, because that's the true test. How are you going to do when your back's against the wall, when you're facing adversity? And at this point, I don't think we're going to see that type of environment from Jake over these next, this fight or the next fight. I see Ben possibly being in there and, making Jake work and not, and Ben not going away, not getting knocked out. But man, I don't see Ben coming out and giving him enough damage. But that's a great question. Execution coming back in with the super chat. Always got the good ones. Let's see what he's got to say. Would you ever consider doing a boxing fight? If so, who? Can be anyone. Plus, I know he's your boy, Stevens. Needs to retire. Lost the last 4. Love you. I love you too, Execution. I would do a boxing match. Honestly, guys, look, if I was in Ben Askren's, shoes, I would do the exact same thing. You're getting paid $500,000 to only box, and to me, I've trained grappling, wrestling, kickboxing, MMA, all that. And boxing to me is the easiest sport, I would call it, to train. It really is. So, yeah, I would do a boxing match. I mean, I wouldn't try and start to become like a professional and build a boxing record and try and get a world title. But, I mean, if I had a chance to fight somebody like a Jake Paul or a YouTube guy or, I mean, just a fairly decent matchup and I could get paid, yeah, why not, man? I mean, it's a challenge, So, I would definitely do that. So, shout out to Execution 2 for supporting the channel, guys. Shout out Execution. Alex, what's up, bud? There we go. Alex is back. Alex, former Super Chat champ. Boom. Been holding it down on the channel for a long time. Shouldn't you be preparing Jeremy Stevens now? Great question, Alex. So Jeremy's actually has the head coach, Eric Del Firo. He has our grappling coach, Eric Uresk, and he's also got his kickboxing coach, John X. So because I know this camp that Jeremy gave a lot of the control to Eric, the head coach, and that's the lineup that Eric wanted to go in there. But yeah, Alex, I would have been there 100%. If Jeremy asked me to go out there and be with him, I would have. I couldn't go to this one, even though I'm not in his corner, Alex, because of all the COVID protocols. Basically, if you're not in the corner, then you can't be out there at all. So I got to sit back and just watch this one. So shout out Alex for supporting the channel. Love it. A street fighter would do Jake Paul. McGregor would rip the kid. For real. So that's a big question, though. What happens, if everything goes Jake Paul's way? He beats Ben Askren. What's next? And that's intriguing. That's intriguing. Is he going to fight Dylan Dennis? Because I know they've wanted that fight. A lot of people call, Dylan a sissy, and rightfully so. Dylan talks a big game, and he really never delivers from what I've seen. He barely ever fights. I don't think he really grapples anymore. He doesn't put it on the line. Maybe he'll fight Dylan, or maybe who knows? Maybe he'll end up fighting McGregor, because I know that's the ultimate one that Jake wants to fight. He wants to fight Conor McGregor. Will the UFC let that happen? I honestly think if Jake goes out there, beats Ben Askren tonight in impressive fashion, and money talks, and Jake's team can talk to the UFC, I really could see this fight happening, because I put nothing past UFC. I know Dana hasn't said the best things about Jake, and Jake obviously hasn't said the best things about Dana. You've seen his videos, but Dana's a businessman. He's able to put emotions to the side. What makes dollars makes sense. And I could see Dana putting this together in a boxing match. Conor, I mean, I feel like Conor's down to fight. Conor's a scrapper, so I know he's got to fight with Dustin Poirier coming up, which, man, that's gonna be a good fight. I'm interested to see how Conor comes back and if he makes the adjustments and everything. But man, I think if Jake, I think Jake's gonna continue doing what he's doing. I think he's gonna call his fights. I think he's gonna make fights that make a lot of sense and get people intrigued, which is a good thing for boxing, right? I mean, if you're a boxer, you cannot hate on the fact that Jake Paul is bringing more views. He's bringing a different demographic. He's bringing a different crowd, a younger crowd to view boxing. He's making it exciting. Honestly, like the event tonight, they got, I know they said Justin Bieber, Snoop's on there. They're making it almost like a concert experience with the fights. So I'm a big fan of that. The old Pride days where they had, like the announcers and the beats and the music, and it was like an experience. So I'm hoping that they continue doing more stuff like this because I think it's exciting. I think going back to the number one thing is that it's entertaining, and everybody that views in, they want entertainment, right? I mean, you guys want to see a good fight. Some people want to see, a concert show. Some people want to see, the entrances. So different flavors for everybody. But either way, I really think it's going to be a good one. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that tonight. And I'm also excited for the UFC card. A little nervous too, because anytime my boys fight, it's always like, can be a little nervous as well, but I got confidence in him. My boy Phil Davis just fought last night, tough night, but man, I think he did great. I think it was a great scrap. So yeah. So all right, guys, YouTube fam, make sure to just hit that thumbs up button as always. If you're new to the channel, anybody out there and you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe so that way be notified. And let me know, guys. Comment on my last video. Let me know if any ideas on topics for new content that you want coming out. I'm going to keep just bringing you guys as much as I can. I do have a fight coming up too, so I will do my best to continue on. All right. Enjoy your Saturday and enjoy the fights tonight. I'll see you guys soon.